We did a video on the efficiency and ease of talking to people, everyone in a pile at a cuddle party or a play party, getting consent for joining in. And someone wrote back and said, I realize that, what a great idea. I really appreciate you guys doing the video. And I've not really been participating. I realize now thinking on it that I'm really unprepared to have that kind of experience if I'm not comfortable speaking to everyone there. Mm-hmm. Like I want, and I'd like to have some dialogues or ways. Can you give me more examples to ask at a cuddle party or play party, everyone in the pile, they're feeling really awkward about, like, how do I do that? So I love the question.
Cathy Vartuli from the intimacydojo.com.
Reid from ReidAboutSex.com.
We love it when you leave comments or DM us on YouTube or email us directly with your questions. Keep them coming, yes, so we never run out of things to talk about. That being said, think about joining groups and asking for permission, kind of like if you were at a cocktail party or, an office, like a Christmas party or something that's happening at a bar or even at a wedding or something where you want to join a table. Yeah. You kind of, in certain situations it's okay to just sit down and join. But if you don't know everybody or if you know one person, it's kind of polite or socially acceptable, at least in America, to be like, hey, may I join you all? Yes. In a social setting at a table, we tend to do that as a means of asking permission to kind of slip into the conversation. And you're not like the flight attendant in the exit aisle that's like, I need a verbal yes from each one of you. We don't do that with cocktail parties and things like that.
But with piles of people. At
workshops, like a cuddle party, or at, intentionally conscious or trying to be as conscious as they can play party events, like when you want to join a cuddle puddle at an orgy, or a full-blown thing that's happening at an orgy, or even at ecstatic dance or something like that, when you want to join the pile of people snuggling in the corner. I think as a cisgendered man, as a big guy, who can be looming over a pile of people doing things, I want to just say, I'd love to join you all. May I? And I'd love to get a yes from everybody just so I can check in.
Mm-hmm. I like that, because you're telling them that you're wanting that yes so that you feel good about it, and you're not trying to be obnoxious. That feels good to me. I'd like to get a verbal yes from everyone so I feel
welcomed, yeah, or so that I have a check-in. Mm-hmm. While this would be weird at a wedding, right? You can try it. I mean, I certainly like to kind of make eye contact with everybody at the table.
But if someone has their head under the table because they dropped a fork or their napkin,
yeah,
and everyone else is yeah,
who are you? Same thing if somebody has their head, under somebody's thigh and they're doing things, and then they're like, who are you? When did you join the orgy? Being that awkward dork who keeps checking in and asking permission and giving people the opportunity to use their voice. I am assessing if everybody in this orgy has their words and can consent, because I've done the math and I know what kind of problems can happen if I play with people or even cuddle with people who don't have their words, and then all of a sudden while my intentions were great, they're upset. They don't feel like I was being conscious about their boundaries, and then they, share with a friend to process how I violated them, which, that's the kind of rude at an orgy. That's the kind of rude you do not want to be. No. And it's different if you join a conversation at a wedding table or something, and somebody thought that was rude that you just sat right down, which is why you ask, may I join you? Mm-hmm. So again, the wedding example, I'm just trying to anchor it in real life, because not everybody's been to an orgy or a cuddle party, but getting that verbal permission from everybody makes you that, I think, classy person, mm-hmm, woman or man or however you identify. It's not about gender. If somebody's like, God, that Reid's weird, he always asks. If somebody's complaining about that, I guarantee you whoever they're complaining to is like, really? He always asks? I should hang out with him, because you my friend,
Never.
complain a lot and are weird. Like,
Yeah.
you become the safer person.
Well, I think that when we start asking and looking for consent, it seems like a lot, but that's because in our society in general, we don't ask. We don't use words. So one of the things at cuddle parties is if you feel like you're asking a lot more than normal, you're doing it exactly right.
Another tip that can be useful, because some people work well when they have scripts, you can say, I'm horrible at reading body language. I love people to use their words. May I join you, and can I just get a quick yes from everybody? Or a no. I love getting a no as well. Like, you know, it's like you can figure out something that's works for you, that is then your phrase or your question. And whatever makes you feel good. And really what you're letting people know is, you know, it can be like, you know what? I'm good at reading body language, but I much prefer people to have their voices and to use their words. I would love to join you. Is everybody a yes? Mm-hmm. Like, when you find the phrasing that really works for you, then it becomes so much easier.
You could also, if I know that in the middle of a pile of people cuddling or having sex, sometimes if we can't use our words, we can't see body language. Someone might be under somebody and uncomfortable.
Or behind you.
Yes. So saying I really only want to make sure that I'm with people that can use their words, so I'd really like to hear that now so that we can relax and have fun. That's another way you can go into it.
So again, food for thought. Yep. We're not saying it's the way, but consider it.
Yeah.
It seems to be working well for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a little awkward sometimes, but really worth it.
Leave the comments. Hit subscribe. Why not?
Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're going to go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like...